On a personal basis, and yes, I did take a week off, but I also know that she was not available a great deal. It's been several weeks since I've had a chance to chat with her. And I know she has events, where she goes out and meets with voters, but you don't put her schedule out, and the reporters don't have access to her at these events. Why this strategy?
Yeah, actually, I again would disagree with that. I think that she has a number of kind of public events. We put out a public schedule every day of her events and where she's going if she has public events on that day. When she has done events with the media or with voters, that she has been around to answer questions after those events. And so I think this is a fairly normal process. I would point out that Senator Brown, on the other hand, has not had a town hall meeting since he's been elected, is very kind of sparse in terms of his interactions with the media as well. And so I think that if you look at both the candidates, clearly Elizabeth Warren has been much more accessible
I think I would say, honestly, that Senator Brown's profile has been very high. He's been in many places, multiple places, every place. He's very visible. You can hear him on the radio, and you can see him out in the street. So I'm not sure that jives with.
Yeah, I think if you looked at the schedule and you took a look at kind of where the events and where they've been, you would see that Elizabeth Warren has been out and talking to people and talking to voters on a much more regular basis than Senator Brown has been.
I wanted to pick up on a point that Janet brought, and because perception sometimes becomes reality. I mean, the perception that Janet is saying is it might appear to be the landscape from the media side. And to carry that to the next level, you mentioned Governor Patrick. Perhaps some are seeing the shades of the ghost of Martha Coakley here, playing a little too cautiously, a little too close to the vest until the very end, which did not prove to be fruitful for her.
Look, first, I just want to say I have a tremendous amount of respect for Attorney General Coakley. She's a very good public servant, and we're lucky to have her as Attorney General. But I think that Elizabeth has been aggressively reaching out to voters on a very regular basis, and I think the facts would back that up. If you look at her schedule and you look at the work she's done, the amount of town halls and meetings and organizing rallies. I mean, we've had rallies with voters in all parts of the state. Hundreds of people show up at these rallies. She meets people individually, one-on-one. I think if you lined up the facts and looked at our schedule and looked at our events, that the facts would tell you a very different story.
I don't disagree with you that her schedule is probably very full and she's doing all these events, but I'm going to have to get on that mailing list to get her schedule because I'm not getting it every day. Anyways,